go linger in the presence of Jesus. Don't miss it comes back, this kind of is full circle in our conversation, but it comes back to that moment for me where the work you're doing is so important. It matters so much. Bless you in every good endeavor and every good work that God has prepared ahead of time for you to do. I bless you in that. And don't miss the beauty of lingering with Jesus for yourself.
Welcome to the Worship Probs podcast, where we aim to entertain, encourage, and equip worship and tech leaders all around the world. Look, we all know that serving in worship and production is great, but the problems, those are real. Thanks for joining us as we dive into today's episode with our host, Brian Tabor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 355 of the Worship Probs podcast. We're so glad you're here today. I've got Mrs. Probs with me, the one and only.
Hello.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, we have you got me, man. I'm a little shook. I'm a little shook by the enthusiasm, but I'm glad. We got a seriously great episode for you today, guys. Grab a cold brew coffee or whatever your beverage of choice is. If it were me, it'd be a diet ski. If it were Kim, it would be something with electrolytes and
it would not be a diet ski.
It would not be a diet ski, most certainly. We're going to mix things up a little bit today with the flow, and as always, we got some classic prayer concerns. We hope that those will make you laugh and encourage you a little bit. And then we have an incredible conversation that Kim and I had recently with our friend Ellie Holcomb. She was with us back in 2024, episode 278. Highly encourage you to go back and check that out. But she's just a deep, deep well. And at the same time is absolutely hilarious. Like, she can have you laughing and crying in the same 5-second span. And she did that to me in this conversation. So you're going to enjoy it. We love Ellie, want to support her music. She's got a new record out called Far Country. You're going to want to grab that as soon as you can. And as always, just thanks for tuning in today. Before we dive into the rest of the episode, I want to give some love to the amazing people that help make all of this possible. Our friends at Planning Center and DC Pro LVA, who make the podcast possible. This episode of the Worship Probs podcast is brought to you by Planning Center, an all-in-one software that can help you organize every facet of your ministry, connect with your people, and help your people stay connected to each other. Among the many ways Planning Center can help you do that is through task management. In Planning Center, you can create detailed tasks, organize to-do lists, and even collaborate on those tasks with other team members in real time. Do you have recurring events and projects with long to-do lists? Make a task list template to save time. Have regular tasks you need help keeping up with? Set your tasks to automatically repeat at an interval of your choosing. And the best part is that you can create tasks from absolutely anywhere in Planning Center using the toolbar. You'll find your Tasks tab in Planning Center Home, the place you see all the important updates happening across your account. To learn more and get started today, visit planningcenter.com or click the link in our bio. Prayer Concerns is brought to you by DC Pro LVA. They specialize in transforming worship experiences with professional lighting, video, and audio solutions tailored for churches. Their team understands the unique production needs of churches and delivers cutting-edge equipment and personalized service to enhance services, events, and special gatherings. From vibrant LED walls and crystal clear audio systems to dramatic lighting designs, DC Pro LVA provides reliable, volunteer-friendly solutions that amplify your message and create a welcoming atmosphere for your congregation. Choose DC Pro LVA to elevate your church's worship environment with seamless production support. Their thorough design approach and dedicated team ensure your services run smoothly, engaging worshipers and fostering connection. Visit dcprolva.com or find them through the link in our bio to explore how their customized solutions can equip and empower your team, making every moment of worship unforgettable. Partner with DC Pro LVA today to create a powerful and inspiring experience for your church. Well, the Worship Probs podcast is thrilled to have a friend back, Ellie Holcomb. Ellie, welcome back.
Oh, it's so good to be here. And you brought your beautiful wife today.
Oh, man, she's the best. Isn't she the best? I'm like the luckiest guy in America right now. I've got both of you on here. This is going to be awesome. Well, we're thrilled to have you back on. How is fall going for you so far?
Full throttle, baby. It is. Y'all know, I mean, it's crazy. But honestly, there is a sort of like very grounding rhythm for me. As a mom, I've got 3 kids of just it's like, soccer practice and baseball and school and homework. And there's something about the rhythm of that after the like wild, chaotic non-rhythm of summer that does feel, even though it's crazy, there's sort of a settling quality to the craziness.
Sure. I'm sure. Well, okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And we love to have a little bit of fun. So welcome to the hot seat. I can't remember if we did this the last time you were on, but these are 5 just like rapid fire questions. So number 1, burger or salad? What are you picking most of the time?
Do I have to choose? I genuinely I kid you not, I order a burger with a salad, or I order a salad with ice cream. I try to do both.
Oh, yeah.
But if I had to choose, I would do salad. I love vegetables so much.
Okay.
So lame.
All right. That's good. You're making good choices. That's good. Number 2, what was the last song you played on your phone?
Ooh.
Mine was Biggest Part of Me by Ambrosia.
Oh, I love that.
That'll date me. It'll date me a little bit. Yeah.
Mine was actually, I watched the movie About Time on the plane. I don't know if you've seen that movie. It is spectacular.
Ooh, we need to see that.
It's so good. But so I was wanting the soundtrack to that movie. So I looked at the About Time theme. It sounds like the Ben Folds song, The Luckiest. You know this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I ended up landing there because I think they used some of his music in the show too.
Oh, I love that. Okay, number 3, if you had to pick a superpower, what would you choose?
Flying, for sure.
I think it has to be
flying. Would be awesome. Yes.
I mean, I don't know how I could help people with that. I just want to fly more. I'm like, you forgot my wings, Lord.
Yeah, right? I was supposed to have wings.
For the new earth. When Jesus comes back and everything's healed, I'm like, for sure we're going to be able to fly. I'm pretty certain.
Absolutely. Number 4, do you have a favorite comfort food?
Soup. Specifically, I make a chicken soup like that my mom made me anytime I was sick. And so,
we're going to need that recipe.
I love a good chicken soup. Yes.
Yeah. We're going to need that recipe.
The recipe. It's so good. And it's almost soup season, not quite yet.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty hot in Tennessee.
Ryan's all about soup season.
Yeah, I am. I'm all about soup season, but it's an epic fail for me every year because I'll do it like twice and then I get bored. We talked about that before we hit record. So I've got to get better at soup. We did make chili last night just to kind of dip our toes in the water for soup season. So, yeah.
I love a liquid lunch. Like, give me a soup for lunch all day long. So
absolutely. Good. Okay, last one. Is there a little known fact about you that might surprise people? Like, I have this weird fear although I want to fly, I have a fear of things that fly, like birds and bugs and bees and wasps and all that stuff. So
what about lightning
bugs? I'm down with lightning bugs. Yeah, I'm down with lightning bugs. Grew up with those, but anything else, What about you?
My
Anything that?
daughter is with you. She hates birds so
Oh
much.
gosh, yes.
They just like totally freak her out. And I like have the Marlin app where I'm like a mild side, like in an ADHD way, I'm a birder.
A
I don't think
birder.
it's
A
seriously, but
birder.
I have Marlin, which identifies bird sounds. So I'm like, what's that bird? I want to know it and I want to find it. So
Yeah.
I guess that's a little known fact about me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And then I worked at Sonic for 6 summers and my parents made me quit because I loved
Sonic.
it.
Oh, I love Sonic.
Loved it so much.
Yeah, I love Sonic. We don't have one close to us, which is a
we
real
don't.
unfortunate, but I love
That's
Sonic.
sad. Nothing beats their happy hour. Like it's
Oof.
such a good deal
Yeah.
and it still exists 2 to 4.
And didn't they used to have like hot dog day or chili dog day or something like that, like every summer. And when I worked at a church, I was like, okay, we're going to the nearest Sonic. It's going to be a long lunch, but we're going. And yeah.
That is I loved it. I loved it so much. And it like fits in people's rhythms post game Sonic.
Yeah.
I was flying around on rollerblades. Oh, I loved it.
Oh man.
I made great money too. I made so many tips. Turnover of your table. It's like that.
I love that. I love that. That's so good. That's so good. Well, you survived the hot seat. So that's excellent. Those are great answers, man.
Yes. Yes. I am thoroughly enjoying getting to meet you for the very first time too, by the way. I know you've been on the podcast before, actually back in April of 24. I think it was episode, let me see here, 278.
Been a minute.
From the archives.
From the archives, yes. And I have been so enjoying your new project called Far Country. And I know that this project kind of talks a lot about the tension between beauty and brokenness. And a lot of your songs mention a desert time or a time of some darkness. I'd love to just hear a little bit about what God has been taking you through in the last couple of years.
I love that, Kim. I honestly, when my, whatever PR agent sent me, the press schedule, I was so excited to come specifically on this podcast because hey, y'all are awesome and I love what you're doing. But I think that maybe the story of what sparked this record will resonate with a lot of people who are in ministry. I think I'm so grateful because I've just known Jesus my whole life. Like I don't really remember a day where I wasn't like swept up in the wonder of the beauty of God. Like from a very young age, I would say I had like a personal experience with Jesus. And I would say that I've started calling it, I've carried the honey in my heart for a very long time. In Sunday school, all you Sunday school teachers out there, I remember decorating Psalm 23, like we were memorizing that. And the sweet, precious ministry leaders somehow cut out felt like little, like a lamb and a shepherd's hook and staff and a river. And they let us decorate them with glitter, which I thought was like God's literal treasure. But my mom never let me have at home. And so I literally carried around these little pieces of I carried around God's promises literally in my pockets. From a very young age. And I think when you taste something that sweet and that good and that beautiful, my personality is very much that I just want everybody else to know it. Not even as an evangelist, but I'm like, you have to try this. It's so good. And so I think for my whole life, I have been coming to the living waters of God and the well, and drawing from the well and drawing up cups and filling them with that water and carrying it out to share with people. And that's not in any formal sense. Like I wasn't like a missionary or anything, but I was like in a Christian school. So it wasn't like there were even a lot, but I've always wanted to know other people and to travel the whole world and to want everybody on the planet to know that God loves them. Like that is
Yeah.
just how God made me. And so, but I spent so many years, and I think this is true of so many people in ministry, giving that living water and handing it out and pulling up sloshing. My dad calls me slosh. But like,
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
with literally whatever, like, have you tried the new Sonic Blast or have you tried Jesus? Like whatever it is that I'm loving at the moment, I'm like, you ought to taste it. But I spent so many years pouring that into other people's cups and saying, taste this, taste this. I looked up, I'm in my 40s. I don't know that it was necessarily a midlife crisis of sorts, but I just looked up all of a sudden and I just realized with as much as I've been handing this to everybody else, it is so rare that I am sitting down and taking deep drinks of this water just for myself. And it just makes me want to sob because I think I looked up and I had this like dream one night of me sitting on a dam, like that of where water was pouring over, and I was so worried because I was scooping up water from the dam, but the water level was going lower and lower and lower, and I started kind of, that sense of like panic in your heart,
Yeah.
that like the anxiety that I don't know if you've ever had a panic attack, but like elephant heaviness on your chest is sort of how I was feeling in this dream. And I think if I'm honest, how I was feeling in my life. And I was worried. I was like, oh no, like the wells run dry,
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
And in this dream, Jesus came and sat right next to me. And he put his arm around me and he was like, this isn't all. Like, and he's like, look, we're going upstream. And then like, if you can imagine like Aslan and the girls, Lucy and Susan flying on Aslan's back, like in this dream, we just literally, like there are reservoirs above. And so I set out I was starving and I was really thirsty. And I think in a culture, in an age where, in a country where there's sort of this like, I don't know, I'm wrestling with a lot of things right now and with what being a follower of Jesus looks like. And I think some things that are promoted online and this is the Christian way and the only way to follow Christ are very different from the way that Jesus lived his life. And so there's sorrow and there's suffering in my own life, in the world around me. And I just felt dry. And so I went on an adventure with God to try to discover those living waters. And Far Country tells the story of that journey.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What an answer. You got me crying with the first answer. This is going to be one for the ages. So, okay, this new record, Far Country, you just released it. It's obviously, as you just shared incredibly, as only a songwriter could share it. You shared it with unbelievable imagery. And what is your hope as these songs are released out into the world? What's your hope for people as they listen and get these songs into their hearts?
Yeah. Brian, I wake up, I don't know how y'all feel when you're waking up these days. Like I mean, the day before this record release, it was the week that Far Country released was like, it's been so heavy. I don't know when this is releasing. So like timeline wise, but like 9/11, the Charlie Kirk, the school shooting. It was just this like heavy, the Ukrainian girl, like it just was this like heavy headline. And I'm literally like, God, what the heck? Like, how am I supposed to get online and be like, listen to my record, guys? This, I don't feel like marketing anything. My birthday is also 9/12, which is wild. And I feel and I trust that the timing of when this record releases is exactly on purpose. And my hope for people, so the whole record started with this picture that I saw of the salt flats in the Uñani salt flats in Bolivia. It was one of those, you're scrolling on Instagram, heavy, heavy, heavy. And then something all of a sudden hits you that just like stops you in your tracks, like a picture, this beautiful picture that took my breath away. And I was like, this has to be AI. This isn't real. So I ended up going, like my ADHD brain does. I ended up searching for it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a real place. And are you familiar with what a salt flat is? Do you know?
I've never been to one. I've seen pictures. Yeah.
Okay, so a salt flat is a lake, and this just ties into the story I just told, which is, so I'm reading about this and I'm just like actually weeping because I'm like, this is me. I'm the salt flat. But a salt flat is a lake, like it's a dried up lake. So a lake that used to hold nourishing, like waters full of minerals, and over time and in heat, with climate change, like the water evaporates. And so the lake is dried up. But once a year, there's still tributaries that come in. And once a year during wet season, water floods in, but only about an inch or two deep. But it creates this, it's like a mirror that reflects the heavens. And so when you look at the picture of the Uñani salt flats, it literally looks like the heavens are beneath your feet. And when I saw this picture, I'd started this adventure with God of researching and rediscovering, only to find like a deeper, wider, more spacious, more colorful, more powerful understanding of God's love than I had ever known before. And when I saw the picture of the salt flats, I didn't even know what they were. I just literally saw it. And the first thing I saw was, that's how I feel about God. That's how I feel about God. He is above and beneath, and as deep as pain can take us, I've known love to be a deeper well. And I think my hope for the record is that it would be a place that would hold space for people who are walking through deep sorrow and deep suffering, but who also still long to hold on to a deep hope and the deep love of God. And it wrestles in the tension of that. And thanks be to God, the story of the gospel does the exact same thing. It's like a love that enters into every question, every worst moment of our own stories, to every horrible, awful thing. It's a love that enters into death and then says, this is not the end of the story. And yet we are in a place of, I guess my hope is that the record is a record that reminds every beating heart that they're a beloved child of the Most High God, who made them and who knows them. And my hope is that it would be a hospitable record, a place to hold space for people who maybe have left the church, who are like literally out on faith, to remind them that even if they're out on God, it doesn't change the fact that they are made in the image of God and that God loves them. And so I think there is a sense of a longing. I think all of us are made. There's a story of a 3-year-old kid who, and then a mom who has a 3-year-old and then a brand new baby. And she puts the baby down for a nap, comes back downstairs, is cleaning up from lunch, and she can't find her 3-year-old anywhere. She's like, oh my gosh. She's about to go outside to the backyard, in the front, it's like you're a mom. You're like, check the front door, make sure they're not in the street. She's about to go do that. And she looks at the baby monitor, check the baby before she runs outside. And she sees the 3-year-old leaning over the baby's crib. And she's like, oh my gosh, runs upstairs. And as she's opening the door, she hears the 3-year-old talking to the baby. And what she overhears is the 3-year-old saying to the baby, quick, remind me what heaven's like. I'm starting to forget.
Oh, wow.
And I heard that story and it just,
wow.
I just started weeping. And I think there is this sense that our story, our human story, is that we all come from where every good thing comes from. We are all created and made in the image of God. And we live on a broken planet. and a beautiful planet that is full of whispers and traces of the place where we once made, but that is also so off. And so sometimes I think it feels so off down here because it is so far away from the place that we all came from.
Wow.
And so every single beating human heart yearns to go back home to that place where we all know before we took a breath, before we did. I have Henry Nouwen's book, The Life of the Beloved. I don't know if you've read that.
Yes.
But he
Love
talks
him,
about,
yes.
before we take a breath, before we were loved, before we were wounded, before we had any success or any failure, before any of that, we are the beloved children of the God who made us. And there's a sense that nothing can shake that. Nothing can take that away. It's our true home and our true identity. And so I think most of us, or at least me, feel a little lost down here. And I think we're all trying, in one way or another, trying to find our way back home. And so my hope is that this record would feel like an invitation to come home.
Mercy. Yeah. Wow.
And as someone that has listened to the record, you're hitting the mark. You are hitting the mark for sure. Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I specifically want to talk about one of the songs that has become my favorite, and it's How I Feel About You. And that, let me start by just saying, from a musical perspective, the piano line and how that joins with your vocals and how you communicate this song, it is an incredible union. And it just sank deep into my heart. And so that has been the song that has been on repeat for me. I want you to talk a little bit about that and the significance of that, the depth of the messaging there. It's incredible. I just love that song.
Thank you, Kim. Oh, I literally am so excited because on the way home from Ireland, I just made a reel to that song. It's one of my favorites on the record. And really the last 3 songs on the record for me, this has never happened. And I don't normally say this. This never happened for me before. But when there's a prayer that says, God, calm all the tumult within me. I think a lot of us, or at least I, so often right now in the current moment that we're in as a country, in the globe, and just in the deluge of like hearing about all the suffering everywhere. I often wake up heavy these days. And
yes.
When the tumult within me is there, I go to the last 3 songs on the record, and I'm like, these are so grounding for me. So I love that you're asking me about this because it's not like a radio single, But in this process, of the past 2 years, I happened upon this, like I was on a trip somewhere, and I saw this church, that was covered in ivy and the roof had caved in. And I was like, this is my heart. This is how I feel about God right now. And which is the same thing I saw with the salt flat picture, right? But so many people, I've wrestled with God. I have a lot of questions. Partly just being human in this time, following Jesus in this time, but then also like just some deep loss and suffering, the kind of things that you're just like,
wow,
there's not going to ever be an answer to this. Like, I think sometimes so often I thought faith was all about certainty and being sure and having faith. And there's some beauty in that for sure. And I would say like in the scriptures, that's like honored, but also in the scriptures, there's all of this space for lament and for doubt and for faith is being sure of what we cannot see. Like, it's so, and like, it's like, oh, we can't actually know for absolute sure. That's the whole point of faith. And so, but that's very uncomfortable and untethering. And so when I was talking about people wrestling with God, people are like, oh, so you're deconstructing. And I think actually that's an important process for a lot of people to go through. But that is not how I would describe the journey that I've been on. Cause I'm like, I could never, um, take down, or like forget over and over again the ways that God's love has met me in my deepest places of brokenness and pain. Like I have too many stories of his faithfulness and his goodness and his empathy and his kindness and peace that I had that makes it made no sense to have peace. Does that make any sense? I could never take all that down. And yet I would solidly say like the roof is definitely off. Like maybe the back of the building is like blown out. The windows are all like the glass has been blown out and the door is open and I'm not sure that I'm ever going to shut it. So there is a sense of like a beckoning. There's this beautiful Mary Oliver poem called Mysteries, Yes. And I think there is, as I get older, I feel more comfortable to wrestle with God. But as you wrestle with God, and this is the Psalms, right? David's always like, remember, awake my soul, like tell the stories again and again when I forget. But when you wrestle with God, I think for me, it has been so beautiful because you're actually so close to his heart. You think of a wrestling match and it's like, oh, get in here. Yeah. What the heck? What do you mean in your word when you say this? What do you mean? Yeah. I don't understand this at all. And as I wrestle with that, I feel like I have heard God's heartbeat more than ever in my life because you're close. When you're wrestling with love himself.
That's right.
That song to me really like is, I don't know, I've started to see God everywhere and in everything. And I think I'm so grateful he does that for us, like writes it into the heavens. But that song for me is sort of encapsulates the journey of wrestling and the beauty that I've discovered and sort of the untethering nature of being willing to ask God questions and being willing to live with questions. You know, I heard Eugene Peterson interviewed towards the end of his life by Krista Tippett on Being, podcast I love. And she said, what still surprises you in your old age? He had cancer when she was interviewing him. And he said, I'm actually surprised by how few questions I still have. That I just feel this sureness and a sense of everything. Love will not fail at its mission. And I just was like, oh man, I'm not there yet, but maybe one day. But in the meanwhile, God's love can sit with us in the tension as we wrestle. And I say that maybe that's not everybody's experience, but that's for sure been my story.
My goodness. Well, if you're listening to this, we're going to get to the big room question here in a second, but make sure you got to go follow Ellie Holcomb. It's a great follow. And you got to grab Far Country for sure. This is, and you need to go like get a cup of coffee, or I'm not a coffee guy, whatever it is just go somewhere, put your AirPods in, turn your phone off, and just deep listen. That's what my mother-in-law calls it. Deep listen. You need a deep listen. You need a deep listen to Far Country. This is not like while you're cleaning the house or while you're, in the middle of doing something else. You got to shut everything down and listen to this. Okay. So, you've answered this question before, but it's been a long time. And we always end with this question that we call the big room question. So if we could gather all the worship leaders and all their volunteers and all the production leaders and all their volunteers, which is kind of our audience here, and we got them all together in one big room and we gave you a microphone, what would you want to say to them about what we do in the local church?
It's so funny. I'm like, I wonder what I said last time. I wonder if I'm going to say anything bad. But I think if everybody's there, I think what I would say go linger in the presence of Jesus. Don't miss it's that it comes back. This kind of is full circle in our conversation, but it comes back to that moment for me where the work you're doing is so important. It matters so much. Bless you in every good endeavor and every good work that God has prepared ahead of time for you to do. I bless you in that. And don't miss the beauty of lingering with Jesus for yourself. He loves to be with you. And I would encourage you I think sometimes I've felt like it felt too extravagant or something for me to actually just like spend time in his word or spend time praying or meditating just for me. Like, I'm like, there's too much to do, like he needs me, like he needs us. And I don't know that he actually needs us, but he delights to invite us into a bigger story than is of ourselves. And it's that whole thing from Esther, right? Like, who knows that you were born for such a time as this? But the next part of that is, but look, help will arise from somewhere else if you don't answer the call. So like, I guess I want to say like, the pressure's off. Like God knows. And in the same breath, the invitation stands. Like the pressure's off and the invitation stands to participate in a kingdom that is coming that will have a world without end, a world with no end. And so I think the best thing that we can do as followers of Jesus is to stay close with him. Oh, he loves it. I just like, it's not pressure. It's not shame on you if you're not doing this. But I just would ask you to like close your eyes and imagine like Jesus looking at you and imagine how, like, I want you to ask him how he sees you. And I want you to ask him who he made you to be. And just take a minute and take some deep breaths and listen to what he has to say to you because he loves you so much. And the best thing you could do is to rest. I accidentally have been inscribing all of my journals. Appointed is my favorite journal of all time, lays flat. It's perforated so I can tear pages out if I want for like, a worship set list or whatever, which is great for us. But you can inscribe them. Anyway, I've got one for my son, Rivers Holcomb, so it's RH. And then I keep forgetting I'm on a subscription because I literally am like just filling up a journal about a month right now. And I keep forgetting to take his initials off. So all of my journals that are coming say RH, and I'm like, and then I was spending time with the Lord one morning, and I just felt this invitation, like, hey, leave the initials on, because what you need to know that this stands for is a rested heart and a rooted heart. And the invitation for us is to, as we pour out and do the good work of being the people whose feet are fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. Like, lace up your peace shoes, people. But also, before we do that and go out and do the work that he's called us to do, may we be people who are ready. His love. Stay close to him. He loves it when we linger with him. And then from that place, go out into the world. And man, when I can do that, and I don't always do that, hear me say, this is not like, I'm not doing this perfectly. But every time I do that, even just for a minute, sometimes there's this beautiful Navajo tradition that I read about that I've incorporated, which I'm sorry if this is like, you're like, freaked out by that. But I just loved it so much. They stand, the mothers and the children, they greet the sun every day. And I'm like, God sends the sun, the mercies new every morning. So,
Mm.
but I literally sometimes, if I don't have time to like sit and journal, I will literally like get out into the sun wherever the light is coming. And I literally stand with my arms open like this. And I take a few deep breaths. If I can get my shoes off, even better. And I will literally scoop the light and I imagine that Jesus is watching me, that he's right there. He's the light of the world. And I scoop that light and I hold my face, I like cup my face with my own hands like this. And I take a few deep breaths here and then I literally scoop it to my heart and hold it there. And sometimes that's all I have time for in the day. If I can linger longer, better, that's even better. But when I start from that place, I think the pace of the kingdom of God moves slower than my heart tends to want to go. And I don't know, I just feel like so often Jesus was moving at the pace of relationship, the pace of knowing other people and sitting with their stories. And I'm like, let's go. In the West, we're like, let's go, let's grow.
Yeah.
Let's produce. And I think like nature is a really good teacher and the rhythms of creation are really good. And so for us to take like wintering seasons, to take seasons and spaces in our days, even where we're just taking a moment to be still and to connect with the source of it all. And so I would just encourage you in this big room, to take time and linger at the living waters, the one who loves best.
Mercy. Man, you're a treasure. Thank you. So guys, you got to go follow Ellie Holcomb. It's like this every day. You can get this on the socials every day.
And let me just say something real quickly. Thank you for continuing to wrestle. Thank you for your seasons of wrestling because we, the church, are reaping the benefits of your wrestling. So thank you for staying in it with him and wrestling because there is no question that's too big for him, that we can bring everything to him. And thank you for staying in it with him because we're reaping the benefits of that. You have a very deep well and it's because of Jesus. So thank you.
Amen. Thanks so much. Man, that was so good. So good. She's just a deep well, man.
She is. She's like my new BFF. I love her. I love her personality. I love how vulnerable she is, how raw she is. She is who she is. And I'm so happy I got a chance to finally meet her and hear a little bit more about her story and her heart.
Yeah, boy, God's been doing a great work in her. And man, I'm a big Ellie Holcomb guy. So, okay, there's no way to graciously make this segue. So I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off. Hey, Kim, do you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for prayer concerns. So guys, if you're new to the podcast, prayer concerns, people send in their unhinged, just flamethrower comments that they get from their congregations from time to time, and they send them in anonymously, and we'd love to hear from you. If you've gotten a savage comment, you can send these to us. You can DM them to us on any of the socials, or you can jump over to our website, worshipleaderprobs.com, click on prayer concerns up in the menu and send yours in. You'll always be anonymous. And so these are all coming from Instagram today. I did a post about this recently that was just like, what's the wildest comment you've gotten at church? And so these they're out there, and it's a good group. So let's dive right in. Prayer concern number 1. After service, a lady said to me, "So much better than last time. I think you're actually going to be okay." What?
Actually going to be okay.
What? You have to be that actually guy or girl. Yeah. Good Lord, people. Okay, number 2, prayer concern number 2. One day I was wearing different clothes than I normally wear, and a church lady said that I look like a real church girl. I don't know what that, in my head, I'm like, well, that's crazy because I've been going to church for 28 years. But I just said, thank you, sis.
I
Thank you,
love that
sis.
response. Thank you,
Thank you,
sis.
sis. Yeah, I'm gonna
And
use
what does a
that.
church girl look like? What does a
does
church
that
girl
even
dress
mean?
like
Yeah, what does that
exactly?
even mean? Come on, people. Come
Oh,
on,
boy.
fam. Okay, number 3, prayer concern number 3. I once had a lady who was a first-time guest come in and offer a full page of harsh critiques written in red pen. She said, as her ministry, she goes around to churches giving notes on their services as a way to serve. She seemed very shocked when we didn't act incredibly grateful for her expertise. Oh, man.
She goes to different churches and does
Yeah.
this?
Red pen, man.
I
It's
have
like
never heard of that before.
it's like term paper
my,
time, man. No, don't do that.
oh
That's
my
wild.
word.
That's I
Oh,
don't I don't think God
that's
called you to that.
terrible.
I mean,
Oh,
golly,
goodness.
man. Yowza.
That surprises me. Nothing much surprises me anymore, but that
That
surprises me.
one,
Oh
yeah,
my
that one
goodness.
surprised me. That one surprised me. Okay, number 4, prayer concern number 4. Keeping in mind that I am the worship pastor, a church member once told me that they intentionally arrive late because they don't really like the music.
Oh, of course. What makes people think that that kind of stuff is okay to say?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't.
okay, everybody has their opinions. That's fine. But you
Yeah.
don't have to say everything that pops into your
You
head,
don't. You
people.
really don't. It is okay to not, actually.
It's
It really is okay.
absolutely okay to
Let
keep
the moment pass.
the lips shut. Yes.
Let the moment
Oh
pass.
my goodness.
Okay, here's the last one, the bottom of the pudding cup. Prayer concern number 5. One Sunday, I apparently was a little more animated. Got this comment afterwards. Worship was so good today. Thank you for finally listening to the Holy Spirit.
Finally.
Yeah, you could put out the
Finally.
you could pull off the reverse actually. You could say, actually, I listen every week. But thank you,
Actually,
sis.
finally.
But thank you, sis, with that little hair pop
Sis.
emoji.
That's going to be a new thing in our house
That
now,
is gonna
isn't
be-
it? Sis.
Thank you, sis.
Thank you, sis. Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
can
sis.
tell. Yeah.
So, fam, those are prayer concerns. Make sure you send yours in to us. And we're not making fun of anybody. We do want to just make our community laugh a little bit. Take a breath. Life is so serious. But we need a little moment to just take a breath. Be reminded we're not in it alone. So send yours in to us. And again, you will always be anonymous. Well, we are recently back from Experience Conference 2025, and it was outstanding. Would you say it was
Woohoo!
outstanding?
Yes, it was. Yeah, I think it was one of my favorites, and we've been to a
it was
lot.
great. We did. It
It
was a great
one
year.
of our favorites for sure. Mhm.
Absolutely great year. So we're getting a jump on next year. They have already released a block of rooms at the resort where the conference happens, which is Disney's Coronado Springs Resort on the grounds of Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And so you can already book your room. You can also register for the conference. And what I want to tell you is we're going to break a little news here today. We have a discount code. Okay, first of all, the conference will never be cheaper than it is right now. Okay,
Yes.
The price increases as the year goes on. So you got a whole year to plan on being there, talk to leadership, get your team assembled, bring them with you. But right now we have this discount code, PROBS26. PROBS 26. That's going to save you $30 a piece.
Yes.
That's basically like I'm giving you $30 for listening to the podcast today.
That's right. You just
And
got to
Kim,
sign up. Gotta
you would
register.
encourage people to come, right?
I absolutely would.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's awesome.
This conference, yeah, the artists and the other worship leaders, the breakouts. It's a really and this is the thing. It's like a little family. It truly is. And that's
really
one of
is.
the things that I love about it is a lot of the people have been coming for a lot of years. And if you're new and this is going to be your first year, you will be welcomed as a part of the family. That's for sure.
You'll want to come back. You'll want to come back
Yep.
for sure. So hit the link in our bio and just scroll down to the Experience 26 link. It's just a couple of links down. And use that code at checkout, PROBS26, and join us next year, next September 8th through the 11th of 2026. Experience Conference is going to be awesome. Worship Karaoke, we just dropped the first episode of a new season, and we had a very familiar guest on. Mrs. Probs
Very familiar.
Mrs. Probs jumped in the car with me, and we had a conversation about being married and serving together in ministry. And, that presents some unique
Some
challenges, a little bit of a balancing act. There's a lot of great things about it, but there's things you got to navigate. And so, man, if you're new in ministry, I would encourage you to check out that episode. It's in our Instagram feed. The first 15 minutes is on Instagram, and then you can watch the full episode on our YouTube at Worship Probs. Just hit the subscribe or follow button while you're there, and we'll send you a notification when we drop new episodes in the future. But really, really good. And then we also, I wouldn't say contentious, but I would say Kim and I have different versions of the story of how we started dating, right?
Boy, do we. Yes, we do.
We do. And so
mine is the truth.
We dove into that just a little bit.
Mine is the truth.
We dove into that just a little bit. So check out that episode 1 of season 5 of Worship Karaoke. Huge thanks to our friends at Allen and Heath for helping to make that possible. Well, Kim and I, we stayed over after Experience Conference to lead a worship retreat with our friends at Starkey Road Baptist down in the St. Pete, Florida area. Just had an amazing day. So they've heard from me on these retreats. Kim, why don't you tell us a little bit about the day?
These worship retreats are one of my all-time favorite things to get to do, to be able to, first of all, meet the men and the women who are putting in the hours and who are volunteering and who are the first people there on Sunday morning. And they're there many times, multiple evenings during the week, rehearsing and getting ready, just getting to know these people. And it's one of my favorite things to get to do. And then we get to journey with them for a day, to walk alongside them, to talk about worship. We talk about preparation, heart preparation, and practical preparation. We have some breakout sessions. We talk about vocal health, how to expand your range and your register. I know you get to talk with the band and the production people, and we talk about intimacy with God, because the reality is we're letting people in. When we are up on the platform, we are letting people in on our own personal intimacy with the Lord. And that means we need to have intimacy with the Lord. And so we talk about all of those things. And it's one of my favorite days for sure.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. We'd love to talk with you about coming to do one of those for your church. If you want to shoot me an email, info@worshipleaderprobs.com. That's info@worshipleaderprobs.com. Shoot me an email and let's talk about it. We're scheduling for 2026 now, and we'd love to include your church on the calendar for 2026, and just kind of pray together and work together to create an experience that it would be really good for your team. And then the rest of the fall, man, we're headed out for some women's conferences as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm bringing my Fear Not Women's Conference to a couple different churches in October and November. I love, there's something about being in a room full of women that, they don't have any responsibilities for those few hours that we spend together. No husband responsibilities, no kid responsibilities, no job responsibilities, and they come ready to let loose.
Yeah,
and so we have a lot of fun, and we also dig deep. It's a deep dive, and we break open the Word of God, and we discover what does God have to say about fear, and how should that impact our lives on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's great. If you would be interested in bringing one of those to your church, shoot me an email for that as well. info@worshipleaderprobs.com, and I'll get you connected to Kim, and we'd love to include your church on the calendar for 2026. That's for sure. Well, we always are grateful that you take a little time to spend it with us. And boy, this one's going to hit different. Ellie was just that was a
Oh, she was incredible.
great conversation.
Yes. Now, remember to hit subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And please do us a favor, go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star rating with a nice review. That is a huge help to helping us spread the word about the podcast. Thanks, too, for following us on all of the socials. You can follow us at Worship Probs on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube, at Worship Leader Probs on TikTok. And you can join the Worship Probs community on Facebook. And on X, just look for the Worship Leader Probs hashtag.
Yeah, join us up, man. We love engaging with you, and that community group on Facebook is a blast too. And hey, a huge shout out to our friend Allie Bajanos at Allie Be Creative for her excellent work on the podcast. Anything good on our channel, I always tell people, Allie touched it. I promise you that. She makes every room she walks into better. And so if you're looking for help with consulting or design or coaching, social media, websites, whatever it is, hit her up at Allie Bajanos on Instagram, and we'll tag her in the description. She's just amazing, and she'll do a great job for you and your church. And thanks to Scott Hoke for our intro. Guys, we're so grateful that you listened today. Share this up, man. Share it with your friends, your teams, your church. We will look forward to seeing you next time. Deuces.
KT out.